Good evening, everybody. This is Derek McAllister with the Grumpy Guy Show. This is episode number 22. Let's take it out to add it back in. Tonight we talk about some really strange concepts of doing things well, sports stadiums, reporters at the scene, and spaceflight. Stick around and check it out. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Grumpy Guy Show. I'm Derek McAllister.
And I'm Ryan McAllister.
And we got a packed show tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to keep it down to 30 minutes. But that might be a stretch, just because we end up talking fast, so. Mm-hmm. We haven't gotten sidetracked recently, so maybe that'll happen tonight.
Maybe.
But let's start out with the first one. Why don't you start this one out?
So, a lot of companies that make juice say their product is 100% juice. Similar to how Coca-Cola makes this bottled water product, Dasani, and it's more than just water.
More than water? What?
Yeah. I've got the ingredients list here in another tab. Purified water, magnesium sulfate, potassium chloride, and salt.
Wow.
They say that these are added for taste.
How's that add taste?
I don't know. It's water. It doesn't need taste.
Water doesn't have much taste, but adding stuff like that, I just don't see how that's going to actually add any taste to it at all. It seems to me like all it's going to do is raise the sodium level. Oh, but that's it.
Exactly what it does.
That's it. It raises the sodium level, and, they say, oh, add salt. It makes it taste more like itself. So, that's the big thing with these celebrity chefs, Oh, fat is flavor, which I don't know if anybody out there has eaten just fat by itself, but it's not flavorful.
No. It's not.
Fat is horribly bland, and it just leaves a greasy feeling in your mouth. Fat doesn't add...
Fat is bland, like tofu? Like tofu by itself?
Yeah, I suppose. I've never had plain tofu, but...
Neither have I.
But, what fat does is it makes the meat tender, because the fat melts away. So it makes it tender. Okay, I get that. Say that. Don't say it adds flavor, because it doesn't. But then, they'll say, oh, well, you got to put salt on it because it makes it taste more like itself. Like these people putting salt on watermelon. I don't get that. What the...
I don't get that either.
Everything's just salted. Oh, let's salt it.
Exactly.
And then they sit there...
Everything's over-salted.
Yeah. And they sit there and wonder why we're on so many drugs and so many medications to do things like reduce our sodium levels, because our blood pressure is so high. Well, maybe if we didn't salt the living crap out of everything. But,
Exactly.
So this topic, it's kind of funny that we both had the same thing here. Because, earlier today, I was putting some lemon juice in some water. Mm-hmm. And I looked in the bottle and it said, 100% lemon juice from concentrate with other ingredients. Then don't tell me it's 100%.
Then?
Exactly. It's just this marketing crap. Don't tell me that it's...
Of course it is.
You want to tell me that it's 99.9% lemon juice? Okay, I'm fine with that.
There you go.
But don't tell me it's 100% lemon juice from concentrate with other ingredients. Mm-hmm. Especially when one of those other ingredients is filtered water. Mm-hmm. Here's an idea. If you're going to use lemon juice concentrate, instead of adding water to it later, maybe, just maybe, don't concentrate it so much. What a novel idea.
Wow.
I mean, seriously, concentrating something like lemon juice basically means getting the juice from the lemon and then getting rid of the water. So instead of adding water to the process later, how about you just, I don't know, not get rid of all the water?
Don't remove the water.
Ugh, it just kills me.
That's a neat idea.
And the worst part is they're taking out all of this water, and then they've got to reincorporate the water back in. So they've spent all of the energy to remove all of the water, and now they're spending more energy
put it back in.
Putting more water back in. Yeah.
That's pointless.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Unless they're doing unless with the water in there, it just doesn't last as long. But I mean, seriously, you get a bottle of lemon juice concentrate. It's got a shelf life of like a year and a half or 2 years. So how long is it not going to last if you take all the water out versus you keep some of it in? But it's just another one of those things. It's logic, and businesses don't care about logic.
No, they don't. They just care about selling you crap.
Well, they care about selling you crap, and what they care about is, well, this is the process we've done for 200 years. Why should we change it? And the problem I have there is some of these companies that are producing this stuff have not been in business for 200 years. Whoever it is that's producing this lemon juice concentrate, I'm sorry. They haven't been around for that long because concentrated juices haven't been around that long. So,
exactly.
Okay, so you've done this process for 20 years. I don't know. I know it's not 200 years. I mean, it's got to be fairly recent. Probably something from the 20th century, if I had to guess. But still,
that wouldn't be surprising.
It just doesn't make any sense to me why they would do something like that. And
doesn't make sense to me either.
In this world where we're constantly looking for, ways to improve the environment and everything, well, you're spending twice as much energy to give us the same product that you could by reducing that energy. Why are you doing that? Why aren't you looking at, okay, not only is it going to save us money, but it's better for the environment because we're not using as much energy. Just stupid.
It is stupid.
Yeah. So let's move on to our next topic.
What's this one about?
So, just on the news tonight, yes, this was a late edition because it really, really bugged me. And it's bothered me for a while. So you get these professional sports teams. And of course they have to have a stadium or, something where they can play. And where fans can show up. So what happens is these teams that are, they're paying their players. Some of the players, they pay like $3 or $4 million a year. These teams claim that they can't afford to build these stadiums.
Supposedly.
Yeah. So they're constantly looking for tax breaks, tax incentives, and all that other stuff. And just tonight on the news, they were talking that the Buffalo Bills want help building a new $1.8 billion stadium. They want help. All I can think is, wait a minute. You make that in one game. Why in the hell are we looking? Why are you looking for help? It's all about profits, and they're going to go. They're not going
to spend those profits.
No, and they're going to talk to these governments, and they're going to say, "Oh, well, this other city is they're willing to pay, so you better pay up, or we're going to go there." My thoughts are, go, be gone, enough. And of course, the politicians won't do that because the politicians will say,
stay.
They'll say, oh, stay because we get so much in tax revenue. You get so much in tax revenue. So they're looking to build this $1.8 billion stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking to do this where it only costs them maybe, $1 million. The taxpayers are going to kick in all the rest of that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe not directly, maybe just through tax breaks.
Holy moly.
What?
I got Wikipedia pulled up, and the most just to see how expensive these stadiums really get. $5.5 billion for where the LA Rams play.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Things like football and American football, in case there's somebody from out of the U.S. listening. But, it's more of a luxury thing now than it used to be. When it started, it was relatively cheap to go to a game. Even back in the 70s and 80s, it was relatively cheap to go to a game. Now, cheap seat is not cheap. And of course, beyond just the ticket, you also have to pay for parking. And of course, they don't allow you to bring in your own food and drink. You're there for 3 hours for a typical football game. You're there for 3 hours. How long you think you're going to go without taking a drink of something? And of course,
not long.
Those bottles of water that you were talking about, well, yeah, they got an exclusive deal with, one of the beverage companies.
Usually either Coca-Cola or Pepsi.
Yeah. And, that exclusive deal is going to give them that bottle of water like you were speaking of, for pennies. And they're going to turn around and they're going to sell it to you for $5. So
yep.
these sports teams are making tons and tons of money. And sure, there is some tax revenue coming in, but it's not even close to what the taxpayers are shelling out to give these businesses incentive to stay. Yeah. So I don't get what the appeal is to spending that kind of money. And our wonderful Senator Chuck Schumer. Oh yeah, and this is going to bring in jobs.
Say, which one?
Yeah. This is going to bring jobs to New York State. Okay. Jobs for a year? That's great. What do these people do after that structure is done? Then you don't have a job in New York State.
Yep.
There's
go somewhere else.
Yeah, there's only so many sports teams in New York. And there's only so many that are going to build a brand new stadium. And the worst part is most of these tax incentives, they last for 30 years. But what's going to happen is 20 years from now, the Buffalo Bills are going to say, oh, we need to build a new stadium. This one's outdated. We need tax incentives. We need help building it. So you're going to be right back on the same thing. They're not going to pay any taxes on it because of the tax incentives that they got that last for 30 years. But then after 20 years, they're going to say, oh, well, we need a new one.
We really need a new one.
Yeah. And
need to catch up to the rest of them.
Yeah, it's insane. And it's just a repeated process.
Up to Los Angeles and Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's just...
Even though Buffalo's got no chance in hell of hosting the Super Bowl.
No, because they're looking at building another outdoor stadium. And, as much as the fans would love to see an outdoor football game, like an outdoor
Super
Bowl in the snow.
In a cold weather city.
Yeah, it's not good for television, so it won't be allowed.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. Everything's good for television. Like natural turf, it's going away, not because it's better to play on. It's actually dangerous. It's a lot more dangerous for the players. But it looks better on TV. So
don't you mean artificial turf?
What did I say?
Natural turf.
No, natural turf. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry.
They're replacing artificial turf with natural grass.
No, actually, it's the other way around. They're still replacing the natural grass with artificial turf.
Hmm.
And artificial turf is very dangerous because it's not soft.
Yeah.
And not only
I know
that
in baseball it's going the other way around.
Yeah. Football's a bit different because,
It's more big money.
Well, it's not even that. Baseball's big money. But the difference
It makes a lot more money than baseball, though.
I don't know, because baseball's got a lot more games. And, baseball's got a ton of games during the season.
They do.
And, ticket prices for a baseball game they're on par with a football game.
Mm-hmm.
But, the difference is with football, a lot of the action is in the center of the field.
Mm-hmm.
So on a natural turf, that gets torn up. Where baseball, it's all over the field when there is actually any action. But, it's all over the field. It's not concentrated. So it doesn't get torn up. But anyhow, that's the problem though. Is they're just going to constantly circle it back around, and they're never going to pay taxes. Yep. All that we gain are sales tax revenue, which sure, sales tax revenue is big, but I just don't think it's worth giving a for-profit business tax breaks. That's exactly what happened with Carousel Center, which it's now Destiny USA. They started out, They gave them a 30-year tax breaks. Okay, great. It was wasted land. Now it's not so wasted because you've got this mall there. And
Malls overall are dying.
Yeah. But as soon as the tax incentive was about to go away, they said, "Oh, we need more incentives so that we can expand."
Mm-hmm.
And then
use up more wasted land.
Yeah, and then they went through and they did this expansion. They did phase 1, and there was supposed to be a second phase, and they didn't do it. And they said, "Oh well, we're going to stop here." And why did they stop there? Because they did only what they had to do so that they got that tax incentive.
And they're going to keep doing it.
And they are. And what
so often.
What the bad part about that is that the ones that are suffering are the residents of the area, because taxes go towards things like police, fire, road maintenance. And without these businesses contributing to that, I mean, the residents have to suck up the extra. They had. I don't believe they actually added another fire station, but they added staff to be able to handle it if this place caught on fire. But they did that at the taxpayer's expense, not at the mall's expense, and it's just ridiculous.
Isn't everything done at the taxpayer's expense?
Yeah. The only ones that are benefiting from it are these for-profit companies and these politicians who are making the back-end deals.
So they can line their pockets more.
Yeah. And that's the exact reason why these politicians go in. They start out being
not making much at all.
Well, they start out being worth like $500,000, something like that. And then after their first term, they're worth $1 million. Well, how like a senator is there for 6 years?
6 years.
And they'll go in, they'll start out at like, $500,000 net worth. They come out after 6 years worth, 3 or 4 million. Well, how can they do that on a salary that's like $120,000 a year? But nobody seems to care. The ones that do care about it are the ones that pay attention, but they're so, they're also most of the time the ones that say, "Well, I don't vote, it doesn't do any good."
Yeah, sure.
But if you're not going to vote, don't complain. That's my thoughts on it.
Yep.
So, we were talking about waste there with the first two. With
the land.
Yeah, the sports stadiums are a waste of land. They're a waste of taxpayer dollars. And all of the energy that's wasted by concentrating juices and then reconstituting them. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about another waste.
What else is a waste tonight?
So, there's this big thing with you got Elon Musk's company there, SpaceX. Of course it is. You got SpaceX, and then you've got Virgin Galactic, and then you've got Blue Origin, right? They're all doing commercial, what's called commercial spaceflight. Spaceflight,
yep.
So the big thing on the news is, William Shatner, he's going up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and
great.
Jeff Bezos went up.
Yeah. So we've got these people that are worth millions or billions of dollars doing this stuff. And, I don't know if you've ever seen a rocket launch. That uses a ton of fuel.
It does.
And not only...
That's bad for the environment.
Exactly. It's really bad for the environment because you're wasting that fuel. You're burning it. You've got this huge fireball coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. How is that good for the environment?
I don't know.
It doesn't do anything. I mean, you look at the International Space Station, and there's research going on. Mm-hmm. So I get that. But these commercial flights where it's just these people who have money to wasting it, going up in space just to say they did it, it's stupid.
Yeah.
If we want to start talking about saving the environment.
It's not only because these people have a lot of money, they're also looking for attention.
Yeah. Yeah. William Shatner's 90 years old. He's not getting any movie gigs anymore.
Something interesting.
Yeah, he's not getting any movie gigs. So, he's...
When was the last Star Trek movie he was in? Like 20-something, almost 30 years ago?
Yeah, something like that. He's done a few things here and there since then, but, he's 90 years old, so it's not like he's going to do one of those reality shows, like Dancing with the So-Called Stars or something like that.
So-Called Stars.
Yeah, the problem is the first season or two, they can get, the quality people the quality stars that people want to actually see. But then after 2, maybe 3 or 4 seasons, they can't get anybody. So, it's these people that only real fans of that person have ever heard of. So, but at 90 years old, he's not going to do something like Dancing with the Stars. He'll fall and break a hip.
No.
So
either that or his hairpiece will fall off.
Yeah, I don't think he usually has one, but, still, I mean, he's not going to do something like that. So he's got to get attention in other ways. And, so now he's getting attention this way.
His tweets get him attention.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't do anything with Twitter.
Yep.
But,
he's as much of a Twitter addict as our former president was.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean...
We know how much that guy loved to tweet.
Yeah. But, so what's the point of him going up other than attention? And what's the point of these commercial space flights other than wasting off money? The only one profiting off of...
Wasting money, wasting fuel.
Yeah. I mean, and heating the environment. You got that huge fireball. I mean, these things, these are humongous fireballs. And they trail the rocket way up into the atmosphere. So... But hey, let's make sure that we switch to electric vehicles, because we're going to save the planet with that.
Give me a break.
Yeah. It's utterly ridiculous. But, it's people showing off that, hey, I got money.
Hey, I got money. Look at me. I can do this.
And, of course, with Shatner doing it, it might not be costing him a dime. Because he's getting all kinds of attention. And, of course, all the talk shows are going to end up picking him up and bringing him on. And he'll talk about the fact that he went up in Blue Origin to space. And he'll mention Blue Origin multiple times, which means Jeff Bezos' company is suddenly getting attention. And they're getting free advertisement, which means, we can afford to let Shatner go up for free.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
He'll give us free advertising.
Yeah. He'll go and he'll talk for us and get our name out there. It's utterly ridiculous. It's complete and total waste. But what the hell can you do? It's what we're stuck with, I guess.
Not really anything.
Yeah. So the last topic that we got here, it's about reporters.
Ooh.
Now there's still some serious fires going on out in California. There's no question about that. I mean, they're big fires. They're moving fast. And the problem I have is that they are moving fast. And these news stations decide, we got to send somebody out there. So they've got somebody who's standing next to this fire that yesterday was 20 acres in size. It's growing so fast that today it's over 1,000 acres in size. And they've got this reporter standing within 100 yards of the stupid thing. What are they thinking?
That's just asking to be hurt.
Yeah.
That's just asking to get the poor sucker burnt.
And it's not just him. He's also got a crew there as well. He's not taking the video. It's not like he's holding out his phone taking video of himself. He's got a cameraman there. He's probably also got somebody who's doing the sound, holding a microphone up over his head. There's probably also somebody standing behind them saying, nope, go over this way. We want the shot over this way. We want to make it look really big. Why do we continue to put these people in danger? It doesn't make any sense. We have drones. Have them 2 miles away from it and fly a drone over it.
Exactly.
I mean, it's insane. It's bad enough
stupid.
It's bad enough we've got firemen who have no choice but to be there. But now we're putting somebody in jeopardy for no reason other than ratings.
You gotta get the ratings.
Yeah, gotta get the ratings, gotta get the clicks. Look, we sent him out here. And of course, these reporters, they're not going to say no, because the more often they're on television, the more
money they get.
It's not even so much that. I mean, they're going to get paid a flat rate. Where the difference is going to be is their career. Because this will be a stepping stone. Look at all I've done. I was out there in the field. I went to the fires. Who cares? Be safe about things, It's not like somebody in California saying, oh, look at him. He went to the fire. He must really care about us. No. They're looking at him the same way I am. Look at that idiot standing next to the fire.
Can't believe that anyone would be this stupid.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think there's a lot of them that are.
Unfortunately, you have to believe that this many people are stupid.
Yeah.
Because overall, people are stupid.
And it seems to be getting worse. All right, folks, you probably hear the music starting up in the background. Or maybe it started up already. I don't know. It's there. So you know what that means.
Good night.
See ya.